Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Saturday Morning Coffee with Back to Basics Dog Training. As always, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning at 11 o'clock to do our live free dog training Q&A session. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, I'm Leon. I'm the head trainer here from Back to Basics Dog Training. Good morning, Donna. And like Donna did here, just guys, if you're watching now live or later on in the replay, please put your comments in. Let me know you're watching. Let me know where you're watching from. Give me a shout out. Say hey, so I don't feel like I'm here talking to myself. So this is a platform we bring to you each and every week. It's a live free dog training session. This is about you guys. I can talk all day long about dog training. I have such passion for this industry. Anybody who's worked with me knows it's my passion, and we just keep trying to get the word out that we can help these dogs that people think are unhelpable or helpable. So, as always, I start off with a conversation. Again, guys, let me know you're here. Put the comments in. I start off with a conversation. This one's not the happiest conversations, but I think it's really, really important to for us to understand some dog psychology on the unfortunate times when we have a pack of dogs, one or two more than one dog is a pack of dogs. So we have two dogs, we have cats in the family, we have other animals, and one of our animals passes. And it's a sad, sad situation. I just had this recently with somebody I know down here. One of their two dogs passed away, and I'm trying to guide them through the process of how to help their remaining dog get through the grieving stage. Like us guys, dogs grieve, animals grieve. They understand the pack mentality. So when one of the pack members aren't there, something changes. They understand it. The energy in the house, of course, changes because we're sad. Our pet, our beloved pet, passed away or whatever. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a dog. It could be a cat. It could be any other, a different animal that has interaction with your dogs. The hardest thing for us to do as humans is help our dogs move forward. It's real difficult. Yes, they got to go through a grieving stage, but you can't really baby them too much because they need to understand that their pack structure, their pack leader, you, is still moving forward, still going to give them that sense of guidance that they need. And it's really hard. The person I was talking to this week about their dog passing, I noticed when I walked by their place, their existing dog, which I never heard before, all of a sudden is howling and barking when they're not at home. And it's very normal for that to happen. They're calling out basically for their other pack member. So what I told this person to do is, as hard as it is, they have to disagree with it and say, okay, we understand this, but that's an unacceptable way of us moving forward, and we need to move the dog forward. Donna said that, first of all, Donna, there's no silly questions. I have silly answers, but we do not let Stark on the furniture. However, when we leave the house, he is not created. I know he's going on the couch in the front room. Is there a way I can work through that? I don't have an iPad to set up to watch him. Yeah, there's a couple things. If you don't want him on the furniture, and again, guys, that's your choice. You can allow the dog on the furniture or not. And I'll give you the example of my own Zoe. Zoe knows she's not allowed up on the furniture unless she's invited up on the furniture. And I know damn well when we're not here, she's up on the furniture. So it happens. If it's something that you want to stop, you don't want him going on the furniture, the couch in the front room, a couple things you can do. I've heard it worked. I have never tried it. Somebody said, put aluminum foil on the couch. For some reason, aluminum foil freaks them out a little bit. That's one way to do it. There's another tool. It's called a scat mat. And what a scat mat is it's like if you rub your feet on the carpet and touch a doorknob. It gives you that little static shock. It doesn't hurt the dog, but when they put their paws on, they're going to get a feeling, and they're going to, ooh, that's not good. I don't like that. But it's real hard. If you can't set up a nanny cam system, like you said, you don't have an iPad, maybe you can work it where you guys, just go outside and, one of you leave your phone there on a camera setup and watch what's going on. And then when he goes up on the couch, you can always just come back in, nope, off, and just reinforce it. So he's like, oh crap, even when they're not there, they're watching. So those are a couple of tricks that you can use, Donna. Um, Pick which one works for you. Try the aluminum foil. See if it works. It's you have it in your house. It's something you have. Just line the cushions with aluminum foil. See what happens. The best thing, guys, is anytime a dog has an unwanted behavior when you're not around, is to get a webcam set up, a nanny cam set up somehow. That's the best thing to do. Nanny cams are cheap enough. You can buy them, hook them up to an app on your phone, and watch what goes on. You go back in, you address the issue. Uh, I'm going to say that's Sheila. I hope I said that right. How do I get an excessive barker to calm down on the barking 24/7? Is a Terry mix? Well, the first thing I would ask you is, one, what type of mental stimulation do you do with your dog? Do you walk your dog a lot? Do you challenge the dog's brain? Usually when dogs are barking excessively, it's because their minds are racing because we're not challenging their minds a lot. So the more you can do with mental exercises, of course, combined with physical exercise, the better it is, because a tired dog is too tired to bark. Whenever I hear that, the first thing I always go to is start setting the structure by following my YouTube video series of how to leash train your dog, better known as Mastering the Walk Back to Basics style. And you work on you're doing the structure of the walk, because the structure of the walk is designed to mentally challenge your dog. And by mentally challenging, they're looking at you saying, okay, what are you going to do next? You're going to make a left, you're going to make a right, you're going to make a U-turn, you're going to do a figure eight, you're going to do the hokey pokey, you're going to turn yourself around, whatever it is. Your dog is constantly trying to figure out, okay, what's going on next? What's going on next? So their mind is racing more in a controlled environment. When we get done with the structure of the walk, they're too tired to do the barking. The other thing I tell people to do is, if there's certain stimulus that trigger your dog barking, people walking on the street, another dog, a bicycle, whatever, is have your dog on a leash and set them up for success. And what I mean by that is, if they're barking at people walking on the street and it's annoying, what you do is you put the dog on a leash, have somebody walk, dog starts barking, and you make your firm leash correction, use the word enough. Don't use the word no, because remember, guys, in my world, no means no. You never do it again. Has extreme separation anxiety. Okay, so separation anxiety needs to be worked through. Most of the times, in my personal experience, I see separation anxiety is caused by the human making a big deal out of the separation anxiety. So one of the things is what I don't know if your dog is crated or knows a place command. Um, so what I would do is, if you're not crating the pup, I would definitely say teach him a place command, which is go into his dog bed, go to your place, go to your dog bed, whatever you want to call it, and have him learn that that's a chill space. Good morning, Michelle and Athena and Rob. Um, have him go to that place command and work on it. So that's his place, and he's not allowed really off the place until you tell him he's allowed off the place. But the thing you can do with that is, a couple of reasons dogs have separation anxiety, from my experience, are mainly two reasons. One is we leave, your partner leaves, and we make a big deal. I'll be back. We'll miss you. Mommy miss you. Daddy miss you. Blah, 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 blah. And we make a big deal out of it. And the dog is like, okay, okay, okay. What are you doing something? You're doing something. Where'd you go? And because remember, it's energy that they're reading from us. The other reason for separation anxiety in this world today is that we're constantly rushing to get out of the house. So what do I mean by that? We got to, in the morning, we got to get ready. We got to get showered, change, get ready for work. We got to make lunches for the kids or whatever. We got to make our lunches. We got to do this. We got to get the dog out. We got to feed the dog. We got to do this. We got to do this. We're running all over the place. Oh my God, I'm 15 minutes. I got to leave in 5 minutes. But and then we leave, and the dog is watching us. And they're seeing this energy in us. And again, we leave and they're like, what the hell just happened? And they start barking for you to come back because you left them in a higher state of mind. So you need to slow everything down. I always tell people, get up a half hour early. Stop rushing around. And if you work on the place command, you can send your dog to the place. And then for 15 minutes before you leave, and go about that last 15 minutes calmly. Just relax. Don't go out of the house like a lunatic. Oh my God, I'm going to be late someplace. And then slow everything down, slow your energy down, put the dog in place. So when you leave, don't make a big deal out of it. Just turn around and leave. And your dog will be in a calmer state of mind when you leave. This way they don't have to be jacked up. When dogs show separation anxiety, we're so worried about it. Think about the energy we're putting out there. Oh my God, they're going to bark. They're going to miss us. They're going to hate that. And we're leaving with that energy, and the dog is reading it and saying something's wrong here. So slow everything down. Breathe in the roses. Blow out the candles, and just take your time. But work on it. If they are barking at people on the street, it's a little different than separation anxiety. You are allowed to correct it. Donna says he actually lays across the top of the couch. He thinks he's a cat. I caught him just coming off yesterday and disagreed several times last night. He would look at me several times at night. I tried a little before. Try it. See what happens. Can't hurt. But if you put it first on the cushions before he can get up there, he may not even try the rest of it. I think a big mistake he made is that he took him absolutely everywhere he wanted and now can't leave him behind because he goes insane. Yeah, absolutely. And another thing you guys can do for dogs with separation anxiety is rewrite the narrative on it. Another tip I've used, and I've done it with people, is we do all the routines, then we walk out and we come back in. Maybe 10 seconds, 15 seconds, whatever it is. And we do that a few times. And then you start expanding the duration of how long you stay out of the house. So what the dog sees is, oh, you went out, you came back, everything is fine. You leave, stretched out a little bit longer. Oh, you still came back, everything is fine. You can just go out, shut the door. If they start barking and crying, come back in. No, disagree with it so they get a better way of doing it and they understand that's no longer an acceptable behavior. But the big thing is don't get frustrated with the process. Because if you get frustrated with it, it's not going to work. Don't feel bad about what the dog is going through. You're trying to move them forward. That's the object here, guys. Move the dog forward. Teach him a new way of doing things, and he'll be happier, and you guys will be happier. But it's a process that you have to go through. So check back in with me next week. Let me know how it works. Donna, I know you'll let me know how it works. And again, I hope I said you right. Sheila, I hope I'm saying the names right. Let me know next week how it works. It's real important we get the feedback. So if I need to go deeper into it or explain it differently, I can definitely come up with different methodologies to help you guys through these things. But definitely follow up with me. And again, you guys can always follow up with me via, if I can find it, text message or email at the information down here at the bottom of the screen. You can always shoot me a thing. Hey, Leon, we tried this. We tried doing that, walking out for 10 seconds, coming back in. It didn't really work. Is there something else we can try? I can always shoot you a quick comment too. Catherine asked or stated she has a I have a 6-year-old. Oh, you have 6 Yorkies. Only one of them. The rest of have all passed. Oh, I have had. Okay. Sometimes defecates on the ottoman when she's sleeping. She does this since my other dogs were alive. She is PP trained, and 90% of the time she goes on there. We'll go to on the ottoman. Sometimes we'll go on the ottoman. She does this right after she relieves herself on the pad. I have a blanket on the ottoman and she sleeps on it, so I don't understand why she goes where she sleeps. She does not do pee on the ottoman, only number 2. That's weird. That's a hard one. I mean, as much as I hate to say it because I understand, she's wee pad trained and all this, but for whatever reason she's not going number 2 on the wee pad, and it's it definitely has, to me, I would go back to basics, basically, no pun intended, and start recreate training and go back to really, okay, you relieve yourself in the crate, relax, and you set a better schedule for her. Or if you don't want to use a crate, get one of those foldable pens and keep it in there. Take away the ottoman for now. She's ruining it. She doesn't deserve it. She hasn't earned that privilege. You can put her in the crate. You can put a dog bed in there, and change the narrative. Keep her off the ottoman. I hate to say it. That's not the right. People don't want to hear that. But I would personally go back to the basics on this, and I would re-crate train. And when she comes out of the crate, she goes on the wee wee pad. I would stay there with her, even on a leash in the house, and wait for her to do number one, number two. She doesn't do number two. She goes back in the crate. Bring her out again, half hour later. Bring her to the wee wee pad. She goes number two. Praise, praise, praise. Treat right then and there. And then when she has an accident on the ottoman, you just disagree with it. If you catch her, that's even better. If you don't catch her, it's hard. But what she's going to learn is if I go on the wee wee pad, your energy changes, and I get a treat for it. So those are some of the tricks. That's a hard one. Alberta says Dexter, a 6-year-old, has been with me for 4. He jumps on people when they come in and does that puppy nipping for attention. I've tried crating him when they come in, and once he calms, letting him out, but it starts again. So I'm in and out of the crate until he calms down. Yeah, well, change the narrative on that. I'm not a big fan, guys, of thank you for the question, Alberta. I'm not a big fan of somebody coming over and I put my dog in a crate, because if you think about their mindset, they're coming in, I get locked up, I don't like this. And eventually that can change to a really bad negative. So what you can do is set your dog up for success. And I've talked about this a lot, is again, controlled environments. Guys, I believe in controlled environments as much as possible. And what you can do is put your dog on a leash, put Dexter on a leash, and have somebody come over. It could be a family member. It doesn't matter. Somebody who lives in the house. Just have them go around one door, come to the front door. The knocking on the door, the doorbell is going to create the excitement. Yay! And they want their prize behind door number 1. So what you want to do is, one, is not open the door when the dog is in an excited state of mind. So you have the dog on a leash and you're going to disagree with the excitement and say, nope, this has to represent calm. Give them something to do. Sit in a place where you can open up the door. This process takes some time. It's threshold management. Watch my Master on the Walk or How to Leash Train Your Dog episode 2. It's all about threshold management, but this is a little bit different than what I discussed in there. So you have the dog on a leash, dog is sitting, you think the state of mind is calm, you go to touch the doorknob, dog gets up and is ready to go again. Stop the process. No, reinforce the no that you're not allowed to do this, to the point where you can open up the door without the dog being overly excited. Watch his state of mind. And then if you have a storm door, you repeat the process. But you don't go past any of the steps. Opening the door, the main door, opening up the storm door. If the mind is excited and he's up and he's, I got to do this. And then you got to instruct your guests when you do and finally invite them in, is they're not, to quote Cesar Millan, no look, no touch, no talk. They're not here to see the dog. They're in their home to see you guys. So they should not interact with your dog until you say it's okay. And when do you say it's okay? Only when they're in the proper state of mind, which is the calm state of mind. And then what I normally tell people to do is have your guests come in, go to wherever the normal gathering places, kitchens usually, or living room or den or whatever, have them sit down. And if the dog seems to be in a calm state of mind, you bring your dog to your guest. At that point, if your dog is in a calm state of mind, they can start petting your dog. If at any point in that process that mind changes from calm to excited, stop the process, and then repeat when the mind is calm. What this will teach your dog is the only way Dexter will get affection from these people is when he is in a calm state of mind. The only way he'll get the prize behind door number 1 is when he's in a calm state of mind. This takes, like everything else, repetition. We did this with Donna and Stark. She's able to get people in the house a lot easier. It's a normal reaction, but it's an uncomfortable reaction when dogs are jumping and nipping at us. So, but because we represent that front door as being excitement, we need to change that change the narrative, is knock it down. We don't open the door if they're excited. We don't let the guests in if they're excited. I've told people, put on the sign, Dexter's in sign on the front door. Dexter's in training. It may take us a while to answer the door. If you don't like it, leave. And you can sign it back to basics dog training. Reason being is it's important for you, because if Dexter jumps on the wrong person, hurts the wrong person, it could be a major problem. Putting them in the cage is not the solution. Putting them in a bathroom or another room is not the solution because it's just feeding into the excitement. You want to disagree with the excitement and reward the calm. So I hope that made sense, Alberto. That's a real big thing. Um, Maybe we'll work on a video on that too because I'm trying to come up with a list of videos I want to work on. Michelle says, I adopted a puppy at 14 weeks old. She's been with us for 4 weeks now. I can't get her to understand going outside. Okay, my first question, Michelle, and again, Alberta, let me know, tune in next week. Let me know how it works for you. Either that or shoot me an email or a text of the information right down here on the screen. Let me know how it's going for you. Again, Michelle, my first question is, are you using a crate? Guys, I know a lot of people don't like using crates. Crates help. Too much freedom for a puppy is really, really bad. So great. I'm glad you're using a crate. So how I would do this again, we're rewriting the story. We're changing the ending of the story. Is how I've done potty training on puppies before is puppies comes out, they're in the crate. I take them out right from the crate, right outside. I'm not a big wee pad person. I didn't put papers all over the floor. Uh, I don't put papers all over the floor. I did it a little differently. So I'm going to use Zoe because that was the last puppy I raised in my house. Zoe came in, when we got her, she went right in her crate. Now, keep in mind, from the rule of thumb on puppies is they can hold it an hour longer than the month, how many months they are. So if the puppy is 14 weeks, which is just under 2 months, 3 months, should be able to hold it 4 hours comfortably. So what I would do with Zoe when she was a puppy, she'd go in her crate, and when she was a little puppy, in 2 hours, I would take her out on leash because I started leash training right away, right outside to where she was allowed to go to the bathroom. I weighed her out. She peed. If she didn't poop, I was fine, depending if she ate or not. If she peed, yes. And I gave her a treat outside. Guys, stop with the treats inside when they come back in. Bring the treats with you. It changes everything for the dog. Because one, dogs are smart. They realize I go out, I come in, I get a treat. So they get the treat when they go outside and they pee or poop outside. With small puppies, again, this is a rule of thumb. There's nothing, I'm not a vet, so I don't know the exact scientific stuff. I know after they eat solid food, they have to have a bowel movement, usually within about a half hour. So again, how I did it with Zoe is I'd feed her, put her right back into the crate for about 20 minutes, take her out on the leash again, walk around a little bit, take her to the bathroom spot. And again, when she pooped, we just we praised her and gave her a treat. It took me 2 weeks pretty much to housebreak her, with I think one accident after that. But it's just going to stop with. That's what you're doing. It's how much you got to wait. You got to remember. Okay, so outside is a lot more stimulus for the dog. So when you take her outside, if you have to just stand in one place and just let her get all the smelling out, I don't know if it's a him or her. Let them get all the smells out. Okay, I smelled everything. Wait them out. It sucks. I did this with my daughter who lives in the city. She was having a hard time with the potty training of her dog. She had to walk him constantly. And what it was is there was so much stimulus in Manhattan that he'd forget to pee or poop because there was so much going on. So I said, just find one place and just wait him out. Wait him out. You got to leave yourself enough time. And eventually he got the point. She did the treating outside and all that type of stuff, and he got the point. It just takes sometimes with different dogs. What type of dog is it? Because it could be, if it's a very high scent-driven type breed, you got to work through some of the stimulus. Remember, the outside world is a lot more stimulating than the inside world. And if there's a lot of stimulus outside this time of the year, it's spring, there's more smells, the winds are blowing, there's more critters coming out. A bully mix. Okay, so it's not that high of a scent breed, but it is a very distractible breed. If the more stimulus, it's like a little kid that's playing with their friends all day. And all of a sudden they come back in the house and say, I got to pee. And by the time they get the word pee out, they peed because they're so distracted by what they're doing, they forget. And the same thing goes with the dogs. That's why it's so, so important to wait them out and then really be happy. It's hard because it takes time. And again, like I was saying about separation anxiety, if we're people that are always rushing to get to work or get to wherever we're going, you gotta make sure you schedule the right amount of time. And the other thing I would do, and I tell people all the time, is keep some sort of spreadsheet going. So you know that, okay, I fed the pup at 8 o'clock, had a bowel movement at 8:30. I fed him at 12. At 12:40, had a bowel movement. This way, you get an idea of how long he can go, and then you can judge everything. But what I also tell people to do is the first 2 weeks of Zoe's life, she was, and you can do this even at this age, she was in the crate pretty much 24/7. I didn't give her the freedom to go anywhere because she never had an accident in the crate, and she had to earn the privileges to come into the rest of the house. I didn't just give her freedom to run her all over the house. When she did have the freedom to run all over the house, she was on a leash tethered to somebody, so she couldn't go in a corner and have an accident. Um, it's just a process, and every dog's different, so it's hard for me to really say. But those are the steps I would take. So I hope that makes sense, because it's again, that's like the dog on the ottoman. It's really hard because it's more about patience and staying calm and just understanding that the world's new to it. It's 14 weeks old, 16 weeks old, whatever the puppy is. It's a lot of stimulus. Um, Donna says still takes an average of 15 to 20 minutes before I can take him off the leash from beginning to end when somebody comes to the door. It's not something that we work on as often as we should right now. This is a crazy time for us. Absolutely. When you get a chance, you work on it. Stark gets overstimulated at night. Still, sometimes wind, sound, lights, shadows, etc. Sometimes it will take him a while at night, and he will be 3 next month. Yep, absolutely, guys. Nighttime, more critters come out. Different smells. Again, think about what they're going through for a second. The different smells that are out there. The wind is blowing. The wind changes direction. There's new smells. Um, this time of the year, flowers are blooming, trees are blooming. These are all new scents. Animals are waking up from hibernation or whatever. Baby critters are being born. There's a lot more bugs out. You got dogs that chase all these nighttime bugs. The bugs that fly around the night. They want, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, I gotta get it, and that's all normal. But for puppies, that is so much stimulation. That's why I relate potty training a puppy to potty training a kid. The kid will be, we think we got our kids potty trained, but then they have their friends over and they're running around like idiots and they have an accident because they're overstimulated. And then when they're overstimulated, the mind forgets that, oh, wait, I'm out here to do something. Take the time. Start everything calm. Everything has to be based on calm because I'm telling you, it works. Um, you know, Same thing. I walk Zoe, at night, sometimes 11 o'clock, sometimes 2 o'clock. And at nighttime, I see her nose more up in the air, smelling things. It's just the way it is. Um, so again, everything comes back to the state of mind. And with separation anxiety, everything has to be based on calm. You have to set them up for success. When I say set a dog up for success, it sounds like I say set them up for failure. Same thing with Alberto's dog with the front door, the people coming in and not acting like a gentleman. It's the state of mind. He's excited. He's excited, he's going to make the wrong choices. It's our job to make them understand, hey, knock knock represents calm. It's a working process with Stark, and I know we talked about it 2 years ago or whatever it's been now. Um, the amount of effort you put in, the quicker it goes. And then you have to stay consistent. Just because they did it once doesn't mean they're going to do it the next time. So it's about consistency, guys. Same routines day in, day out. I work with Zoe every day. Zoe's 9 years old now. I still do things with her just to reinforce some of the better behaviors and make sure she doesn't have the unwanted behaviors. So, guys, I love the questions this week. They were really, really good. So hopefully we'll get a couple more in. Otherwise, we're going to wrap it up soon. I do want to throw it out there. I know I should have thrown this out there a little earlier. Uh, I'm going to be participating in a lot, going to a lot of dog events down here this summer, trying to promote back to basics. And a lot of them start at 11 o'clock. So my question to you guys, I'm going to put this out on my Facebook page as well, and maybe Remember Me Rescue's Facebook page as well. Is there another time or day of the week that would work better for you guys for me to do this? 11 o'clock. I chose it on a Saturday morning at 11 o'clock. One, I started this, remember, in the beginning of the pandemic. So I figured people were home. Maybe 11 o'clock's not good now that the nice weather's coming. Maybe I should do it later in the evening. Maybe I should do it during the week. I don't know. I need you guys to give me the input on that. Um, and I'll work around it as best as possible. Otherwise, I may be moving this to a Sunday morning coffee. I'm not sure yet because, like I said, it looks like a lot of the events down here happen Saturdays at 11 to 1 or 2 because they try to get before the height of the heat. That 3, 4 o'clock where it's blistering hot. They try to get things wrapped up. So that's something I'm bouncing around in my head. If you guys have some input that would be beneficial, let me know. Let me know in the comments. But with that being said, guys, again, thank you for inviting me into your home each and every Saturday morning. You have no idea how good this makes me feel, how happy this makes me feel. It's an honor and a pleasure for me to do this every week. And like I said, if you guys have a different day you would like me maybe think about doing, let me know in the comments. But with that being said, guys, as always, stay healthy, stay safe, God bless, and remember, together we can have one dog and one family at a time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. We'll see you next Saturday at 11.